Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's knows some things make zero sense, like why the algorithm knows your music tastes better than you do. But zero sugar and full flavor? We made that make sense with new Welch's Zero Sugar. All that passion fruit or tropical punch goodness and none of the sugar. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay, and choo-choo.
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
Oh, hey, I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us on another crazy edition of Express. And again, this is one that is just 10 pounds of dynamite, 2-pound bag. You got two sick hosts here. We're both sick, so this is a lot of fun.
Jesus.
We don't care. We got murder to talk about.
I don't give a shit.
Never mind our own health. Texas tried to murder us with this disease that we got from them, but going to Dallas for the live show, that's what you get. We went. It was a great show. The crowd was amazing. Obviously, we had a great time. We think that's free? No, you're getting sick from that.
You're going to pay for it.
You're going to pay for it. So you certainly all want to head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Oh, yeah.
And you also want to get on our social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram and Facebook. You'll find us out there because tickets for 2024 are going on sale, everybody.
Oh, my gosh.
That's right. The pre-sale for this will be December 13th, 10 a.m., through December 14th at 10 p.m. And there'll be a pre-sale code. You can get that on social media.
Goddamn day and a half.
A day and a half. And then the on-sale date for everybody, with no code or anything like that, will be December 15th. I think it's 10 a.m. local time, whatever your local time is. So you can get those tickets. We are so excited. Not a ton of cities this year because we do a lot of shows, so it's just really hard to get to all these cities. So
scheduling is a nightmare.
And so we're trying to get to cities that we didn't get to last year, and some people were like, well, how come no Chicago? Like, we'd love to go to Chicago again this year, but we just did a giant theater there last year, and we're going to give it another year to percolate, and we're going to hit Milwaukee this year, and we're going to do that sort of thing. So Sacramento, and we didn't get to go to San Francisco. Phoenix we missed last year. Oklahoma City, Kansas City,
Raleigh, for Christ's sake.
Raleigh, Nashville, Boston, Terrytown,
New York.
Yeah,
didn't even do New York.
We're excited, so we can't. Yeah, we didn't even.
You
do New
live
York
here for Christ's sake.
That's what I mean. I didn't even get a drive-in, so that's tough. So we can't wait though for these shows.
Yeah.
So get your tickets those days. We're very excited. Check out the whole full list of cities, and I think there's 12 or 13. So we're
12
excited.
or 13. Yeah, one of those.
I think there's 12 actually.
It might be 12.
I think it's 12. So get in there. 13. Also, it might be 13. Patreon.com/crime and sports you certainly want, because you get all the bonus material. All it is, $5 a month or above. You get everything. Couple hundred bonus episodes to binge on that you've never heard before if you're not a patron. And then new ones every other week. One crime and sports, one small town murder. And how much of that do they get, Jimmy?
Every last drop.
Every word of it. This week, what you're going to get for crime and sports, and really it doesn't matter because everyone's interested in this, theme park disasters are back, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, we cannot wait for that. Those are always a fun episode. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about the very creepy Twin Flames thing that's going on here.
Fuck is it?
There's 2 different documentaries, a Netflix and an Amazon. So you know that it's weird when different streamers are competing in the same documentary. It's Fire Festival level fun. It's an alleged sort of cult, possibly a bit of a church mixed in there. It's weird.
Maybe a dating service?
That too. It's all based around finding people, and it's weird. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And you will get a shout out at the end of the show where Jimmy's going to mispronounce your name, but not on purpose. He will want to get it correct.
I'm trying. Yeah.
He's trying hard, everybody, but he's not probably going to get there.
That's all I got.
That said, I think it's time to get right into the show here, and because it's a wild one. I think it's time for everybody to sit back. What do you say, people? Let's all clear the lungs. Here we go. Arms to the sky, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmy. What do you say?
Okay.
What do you say, everybody? Let's go on a trip. We're going to Onaway, Michigan.
Onaway.
Onaway. Onaway. Onaway.
Is that it?
That's it. And if you pronounce it differently, you shouldn't, because it's Onaway. It's the best way to do it here. It is in the far northern mainland panhandle of Michigan.
Oh, up there in the UP.
Not in the UP, in the mainland. There's the
gotcha.
The very top of the mainland,
part,
like northeast up there. It's Canada's right there. You can just swim to Canada.
Northeast over there.
Way up at the top by the UP. Okay. So it's over there. It's about 4 hours to Detroit almost. So all the way there. 3 hours and 20 minutes to, what is it, Mauricie? I couldn't remember how do you pronounce that one. Mauricie. Episode 401, a seriously crazy cuisine, and it was.
Sure.
You certainly want to check that out. That's our last Michigan episode. Population of this town, 796. So
tiny.
We're doing small ones this week,
Yeah.
Median household income here, $28,162 a month.
Holy.
It's about $40,000 less than the national average.
Surviving on the land?
That's tough. Well, the median home price here, $121,700.
Which is decent it's not bad.
It's just cabins in the woods. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's nothing.
There's really not a lot of like civilization, as we'll talk about here. Little bit of history of this town. This is a very funny thing. I love when towns start and they can't agree on shit, so they fight about it.
It's the best, yeah.
So it was a farming community, received a post office here, so that means you exist if you get a post office.
Yeah, you get your mail.
In 1882, there's a guy named Thomas Shaw. He's the postmaster. So they named the place Shaw, after him, which was common back then. So then in 1886, there's a guy named Merritt Chandler, and he platted a bunch of a place
land
for a community.
And he'd love to be named after.
Well, he called it Onaway. Not Chandler, okay? Then Chandler took over as postmaster in 1890 and changed the name to Onaway. He was like, I like that better.
Oh, yeah.
So then 3 years later, Shaw became postmaster again and changed the name of the town, not to Shaw, to Odalaska. Alaska with a D-A after the first A for some reason. Alaska. So he changed it to that. Then 5 years later, someone else was postmaster, and they changed it back to Onaway. So they
liked it better.
Within 15 years, this town went back, and no one knew where the hell they lived, basically.
It's very confusing.
That sign is coming up and going down. That is a lot here. So it was finally incorporated in 1899 here. Okay. And at the beginning of the 20th century, it was home to one of the world's largest wooden automobile steering wheel manufacturers.
Oh.
Steering wheels used to be wooden.
Yeah.
They produced 65% of the world's wooden steering wheels in this town.
Incredible.
That's weird.
What year?
That's beginning of the 20th century, back when cars were first coming into fashion here. They had
they still left that wood insert in the wheel too.
It's cool.
After quite a while.
Yeah, they were in there a long time. So
in the 40s and 50s, you still had a wooden wheel in there.
That big deal, yeah. Reviews of this town. Here we go. Only 2 of them. 5 stars. I grew up in this town and returned to this town shortly after my graduating from college. I love the small town and all of its uniqueness.
You left to a university and came back to under 800 people.
Where are you going to get a job with all that? With all that college. What'd you go to
college for?
I love going to the grocery store or gas station and seeing almost everyone you know. Oh, God, that's a nightmare.
Almost everybody in town.
You got to really buck up just to go to the gas station. Like, what's going to be? I'm going to have to talk to people.
I'm going to see everybody.
Oh, boy. Passers-by will ask, hey, how's your grandma?
Oh, no.
Which if someone I don't know well goes, hey, how's your grandma? I'm like, hey, fuck you. What are you asking about my grandma for? Mind your business.
And me, not well. Why you want to talk about it, you fucking jerk?
They're both dead. Thanks for asking. And things like that. It is really a great place where people have your back. We look out for each other. What we lack in sheer numbers, we make up for with our big hearts.
Oh.
So that's some small town stuff there.
Sure enough.
Here's 3 stars. Everyone knows everyone. Okay, that's the prevailing thing here, is everyone knows everyone.
And everything about them.
And everyone, and their grandma and everything else.
Yeah.
Everyone knows everyone. People very helpful. People
very helpful.
People in general are helpful. No work available, have to travel 30-plus miles for good jobs. Well, yeah, you're in the middle of the woods. Right. Excellent schools, good sports program, good place for outdoor men, good fishing and hunting, snowmobiling and cross-country skiing. Yeah, this is a place that if you live in Detroit, you come up here for the weekend in July. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like. Things to do here, not much. We'll put it that way. I mean, outdoor. I mean, organized. You can go snowmobiling and skiing and hunting and fishing.
All kinds of shit.
They have a park here called Awakan Park. It is privately owned and maintained, and it features gigantic, weird sculptures like this one here. Check this out, Jimmie.
Oh, what is that?
That is a giant.
The fuck? Is that Abe Lincoln?
That's a giant, like copper red, weird metal Abe Lincoln.
It looks like the giant metal.
It's creepy.
What was that movie? The Giant Metal Giant.
Yes, exactly. I know what you're talking about.
But red instead of copper color. Yeah,
imagine if that was in Phoenix. The temperature of that thing, you wouldn't be able to get me within fucking 30 feet of it.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, I can feel it.
They will cook hot dogs near it.
Singe my eyebrows off. So that's what there is to do here, is to go to this park. If you're not doing other stuff, outdoorsy things, it's open to the public, and you can go sit there,
do things,
buy this weird Lincoln and take a picture.
By Abe Lincoln.
You'll never see another thing like it. I'll give you that. That's uniqueness. Like the person
in Michigan.
Said. In Michigan, almost Canada.
Never didn't spend time there.
Nope. I think they're just
my
like
favorite president.
People will recognize this. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
People know who Lincoln is.
That's pretty solid, because
got
you
a good
can mistake
silhouette.
a lot of different people in history.
Yeah.
That guy you can't mistake.
You can't mistake him, exactly.
No.
He's very unique looking, and people they see the beard and they go, oh, that's Abe Lincoln. I know who that is.
You just basically draw Frankenstein without the bolts, and
without
you go,
the bolts,
that's Abe Lincoln.
and make him kind of Frankenstein's
make him
like
alive.
thinner younger brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, make him alive.
Yeah. So that said, let's talk about a murder here.
All right.
Oh boy, this is crazy stuff. So we got to go back in time, not very far here. 2016, we're going to.
Okay.
So everything's the same. Same phones,
basically, yeah.
Same social media, same everything.
Same shit,
Life is the same. We're going to talk about Heather Chantel Young. So Heather Young, she's born February 20th, 1974, so she's 42 years old at this point in time in 2016. She's from Marshall, Michigan. She was born in Coldwater, Michigan. Her parents are Gail and David, and let's get into this a bit here. So she went to school in Coldwater. In 97, she married Jeff Cunningham, so she was 23 years old. Married a guy named Jeff Cunningham. Then they ended up getting divorced later on, and she married another guy named Tom Young, and that ended in divorce as well. So one marriage in 97, one marriage in 2008. Both have divorces, which, I mean, Jesus, how many people do you know that are divorced twice? That's normal.
Every 10 years?
At 42?
That seems normal.
Yeah, at 42, that's kind of just the way it is.
Adult life.
Yeah. So she's lived in a few different places around Michigan here. She's born in Coldwater. They moved to Sherwood when she was a teenager. She also lived in Bronson and Athens. She has 3 children. At this point in 2016, she has 2 daughters who are 24 and 18. So one of them's like, I think one of them has a kid of her own and everything like that, and 18. And then she has a son that's 11. So
she has a 24-year-old daughter.
At 42, yeah. So,
Whoa,
so that's, she had one at 18.
Yeah.
So everybody says she's a really nice person. Happy-go-lucky. Everybody said she's like youthful. You know what I mean? She's not like a grumpy. 42 is, as we know, this is our age range here. So there's people who look and act 60, and there's people who look and act 30 when at 42. It can go so far in either direction to where it's wild. I mean, there's people that I went to school with who look like they could be my parents. You know what I mean? And there's people who look great. It's like such a strange age that it goes back and forth.
And then you have people who feel like they're 65 and look fine,
like it,
but can't fucking do it.
Exactly.
I just can't go.
Man, that's tough too, because she had one when she was 18 with kids. So she's had, a kid since she was 18.
Right.
And then had continuous younger kids. And now her son is 11. So she's 42 going 7 more years.
Right.
So
I get to try to enjoy myself at 50.
At 50, which is a 30-year window of raising kids. That's a long time. She's really
full
career of raising children.
That's retirement. You should be able to retire with a pension for that.
Full career, your 401k should be fully realized at that point. Everything should be great. So she's very active. She likes to do just like swimming a lot. She likes to be outdoors as much as possible. She likes to read. Karaoke's a big deal with her, as we'll find out.
Yeah.
Karaoke will become her downfall, as a matter of fact.
Is that right?
You can say, her friend said that she likes the kind of books that keep you sitting on the edge of your seat as you're turning the pages, not knowing what's going to happen. So she liked thrillers and, stuff that a lot of
mystery.
She would probably like this podcast. You know what I mean? Like that.
Suspense.
That's
her thing.
At that point in time, her friend said we worked on puzzles together all the time, and she always loved to spoil my cat. So she's nice to cats, too. So that's good. So she has a boyfriend in 2016.
Hell yeah.
His name is Terry Gary.
What?
2 first names. Terry Gary. I think Gary.
2 awful ones together.
Gary Terry's a better name.
Is it?
Than Terry Gary. Terry's a bad name.
It's a bad name.
Terry's bad. Gary's whatever, but Gary Terry.
Is,
Terry sounds more like a last name than a first name, I think, to me, for a guy.
It's just a towel.
It's a towel, Terry. So Terry Gary is 58 years old. That's her boyfriend. Okay. So apparently she likes him a little older here. He's 16 years older than her.
That's a lot.
It's a good age difference here. He was born in 1957. He's from Traverse City. And
Traverse City.
Traverse City. And he's he was in the Navy right after Vietnam.
Yeah.
So he different thing completely. Like he was in the Navy when she was like 2.
Yeah, they got fucking. Does he have kids? Because otherwise they got nothing in common.
Yeah. No, they have kids. They have kids, and he enjoyed volunteering at the VA clinic, so the Veterans Administration clinic in Battle Creek, and he liked doing outdoor shit. He liked working outside.
Yeah.
For years, he worked as a mechanic.
Oh.
So he's like a semi-retired mechanic that's pulling chicks 16 years younger than him. That's not bad. He must have some game.
Wow.
He must
some shoulders.
He must have some game. That's all I can think. I mean, it's got to be. Yeah, he must be a rugged outdoorsy kind of guy or something.
Man,
yeah. Grease under his fingernails, and someone must like that. He worked
and
for
the cracks of his hands.
Oh yeah, lots of cracks.
Yeah.
They look painful, but he says they don't hurt.
It feels good.
It feels okay.
Not bad.
He's all right with it. He worked as a mechanic in a bunch of different shops in that area, and he also loved playing guitar. He's a good guitar player.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's been in bands and stuff like that. Big, passion for music, but he never pursued it as a career. He just, I guess, not seriously. He was a mechanic in Michigan, so
he knows how to do it.
He'd play in a band on the weekends or something like that. So now Heather wanted to go visit Terry. He lives up by Onaway, so she wants to visit him. And her father, David, Heather's father, said that Heather had been looking forward to the trip for weeks. It was a summer trip she was going on, and she was going to go for a few weeks, actually. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, she was very excited. She was going to go up there and, meet his adult daughter and spend time with her and try to... This was like a serious thing. We're really going to try to get a relationship cooking here and, settled and cemented. So she gets to Terry's house in Onaway on July 14th, 2016. That's what she does. She's there about 2 weeks-ish, up until July 30th, 2016, when Heather was supposed to... This is a big deal because Terry's adult daughter, Allie, who lives up there with her husband and kids, that was going to be their chance to get to know Heather and try to... he's trying to get his daughter and family to accept her into the family, basically. Terry's trying to
and be okay with a lady who's 16 years old, younger than Dad, and probably real close in age with Allie.
Exactly. Probably within a few years of Allie, and so that might have caused some consternation, and now we're going to... So apparently when she's there for a couple of weeks, everything's going well until they start not going well. Later on, it said, quote, they had a tiff. They had a big fight here.
About what?
Well, they say things weren't working out. Terry's daughter, Alicia, needed to have Terry and Heather leave. So apparently there was they were arguing, and then the daughter didn't want that in the house, I guess. So daughter told them, listen, you guys can't fucking stay here and argue. That's not going to work. Which...
Oh, it was the couple was fighting. Terry, Gary,
and Heather are fighting.
Okay.
So the daughter and her family are like, we're not having this here. You know what I mean? We're not doing this. This isn't...
I got kids in the house. You guys got to go.
I don't even know her. You know what I'm saying? And this is a first impression, not a great first impression. Not that it's Heather's fault, but it's just, this isn't working out at all. It's going poorly. So Terry ends up saying, okay, I'm on my daughter's side here. You should leave. Rather than saying me and Heather are going to leave, he says you leave because
she's right. Get out.
She's right. Yeah, we shouldn't fight, which means you should leave.
Yeah.
So that's how it went. So Heather said, "Fine, I'm going home to my mother. Fuck you," basically. Yeah. So she leaves and starts on a 300-mile journey home out of the house.
Oh, boy. 6-hour ride.
Yeah, it's a long one because think about how big Michigan is from top to bottom, and it's a big state. So, she says that. So she leaves, takes off from Terry's house or from Terry's daughter's house. Now, she's got a 300-mile trip ahead of her.
Yeah.
But she stops. She makes a stop to hang out somewhere rather than just go down and keep going on the trip. She decides to go to a local bar and hang out.
Oh.
Which I don't know if she was upset and she needed to decompress and have a beer. Many people have gone from a fight to a bar.
Absolutely.
That is not an uncommon progression of
times.
events of fuck that person, I'm getting a drink. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why alcohol exists. So
you might be. That might be the main reason.
I think
you might be
really
right.
Is. I really do. Or at the end of the day when you get home, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's what people need it for.
Certainly.
So she stops at a place called the Cabin Bar and Grill.
Okay.
And it's called the Cabin Bar and Grill because it's literally a cabin in the woods.
Hell yeah.
It's you wouldn't know the difference between that and a cabin just
and whatever's next door to
because
it.
There's a sign is how you know it's the Cabin Bar and Grill. And the Michigan,
there's a Miller Lite neon sign in the window.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's the same as the one next door.
And it flickers too, so sometimes you don't see it.
Yeah.
So they said, that's how small it is here. That's the hot spot. That's like you go into the bar tonight, and that's the bar is in a cabin. Okay. So a local state police sergeant said, quote, "Safe place, no trouble. It's a decent place to get some good food and have some conversation with people you know."
Okay.
Locals is what it is. So this is a place where I feel like if you walked in and you're not a local, everybody turns around and looks at you. Like,
who the fuck is that?
Who's that? Is that Hey, Scooter, is that your cousin? Is that your no? Oh, he ain't even Scooter's cousin. I don't know
Whose cousin are you?
Whose cousin are you? Tell me the names of all your cousins right now. Write them down. All of them.
There's a whiteboard behind you. Run the family tree.
It's a cousin. Yeah, that's our cousin board. We find out everybody's cousin relations, and then we talk about it.
Yeah, they smell funny. Just keep drawing.
Just draw. Sniff them if you want. You feel good. They ain't the non-toxic ones. Them for pussies.
These are toxic.
Very toxic. Those are extra toxic we got. So, yeah, she's going there, and she wants to go have a couple of drinks, and she had been to this place before with Terry. They'd gone there for drinks, so she knew of it and was comfortable enough. Yeah, because I don't know, if I'm a single woman, honestly, as a single man even, I'm not going to some bar in some place I've never been before in the middle of the woods alone by myself. I don't know what goes on in there.
Just going to sit down amongst all these people.
Yeah, who probably don't want me there.
And feel like I belong? Not a chance.
It's a little weird. Yeah. So, yeah, she goes up, she hangs out, and they say, quote, she just had a situation with Terry where she was going to be leaving him, and she had come in here before with him, so she was comfortable here, the bar. So she also, the reason why she stopped there also is because they had karaoke going on.
Oh.
Yep, and they said that
she's going to sing a little ditty, have a drink, and then head on down the road.
Because that'll clear your head, though. Yeah, a couple of drinks and some karaoke. That'll definitely change your mood, I would say.
Unless she decides to sing that Kid Rock Sheryl Crow song. Gary Terry shows up and sees her singing a duet with another guy?
Oh, no. She keeps that open for Gary Terry. That's all it is. She keeps it open, and they sing fucking Islands in the Sun together. But he sings the Dolly, and he sings the... It's weird. She sings the Kenny. So they switch it up a little bit. So the one police officer will later say she was a karaoke lover and was doing karaoke. So having a good time, talking to people. That night, though, she apparently leaves the bar and is never seen again by anybody.
Oh.
Disappears.
But she sang all of her songs and she hit the road.
Yep, she did her couple of songs. She took off. She did Black Velvet, and then she left. That's what it was. I feel like that's what you do up there, right?
That or some Stevie Nicks of some sort.
They're like, what is that hippie Stevie Nicks mountains flowing dress bullshit?
White doves? What?
I don't understand. There's smoke coming out. She's in the desert, but some reason she's in like a long black dress in the middle of the desert. It's obviously hot. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. So Heather's family, after not hearing from her for a couple of days, knowing that she's on the way back on a 300-mile trip, they report her missing.
Okay.
Her mother Gail, reports her missing. And after a minute, they find her car in Onaway in a parking lot.
Oh.
So it was found abandoned in a parking lot in Onaway. And
she's not in it.
No, one of the cops said that it was in an odd location. The way it was parked and the location it was in was just strange for a car to be there. That's why they looked at it, and then it turns out that it connects to a missing person. So they end up zeroing in on the cabin bar and grill, because that's where she was. The detective said, this is a small village. People know everyone. It's safe here. We're relatively crime-free. It's the woods. I mean, it's what are you going to do? There's nobody there. So anyway, they start talking to people about what happened to her. what'd she do that night she was in here? Who'd she talk to? They found out that she found a nice guy, a 55-year-old guy, to pour her heart out to.
Yeah.
Have some drinks and talk to him. He was a guy named Brenton Lee Walker. Goes by Cowboy Brent. Cowboy Brent right here. Cowboy Brent Walker, 55.
He's got a good listening ear.
Oh, he'll listen. That's the thing. He goes, I got 2 ears, and you can wear one of them out, and I'll just turn to the other one. I don't mind. One of those guys. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well.
Right.
And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So,
give that one a rest.
Yeah. The bar owner, Danielle Starks, she said her and her boyfriend had gotten into a fight. She needed somewhere to stay. Because she came to the bar, had a few drinks. She's not going to get in the car and drive 300 miles
Good
after
point.
fighting, drinking, and karaoke. So she's basically stranded here. And
you can drive get your fill of one of those things, but all 3 of them, you ain't going nowhere.
No, that karaoke puts you right over the top. Cop pulls you over. They're like, I smell alcohol, and you've been doing karaoke? Get out of the car. Get out the car right now. You've been doing karaoke. I don't want to hear this shit.
Smells a lot like Evanescence in there.
I smell Enya coming off of you. That's what I smell. What is that, Taylor Swift? I smell something.
The fuck out of the car.
Madonna, did you sing Material Girl? I feel like I smell like a prayer off of you. I don't understand.
Smelling a little bit of B-52s on you.
Were you voguing up there? Is that what happened?
Did you love Shack tonight?
Did you? I'd like to know. So, yeah, Danielle Stark said that she was talking to Cowboy Brent, and Cowboy Brent said, well, I have an extra room.
Oh?
You can stay at my house. And everyone, well, that seems nice. He's a good Samaritan here.
Guy.
What a great guy. Yeah, he'll, offers her a shoulder to cry on and an extra room in his cabin, because it's all cabins. And it's late. It's late at night. She's had a few drinks, so everybody. And it's not like it's like a private thing you want to come to my house. It's in front of everybody. Like I said, the bar owner heard them talking about it. They were all. There's no secrets in this town. How's your grandma?
Yeah.
How's your grandma? That's on everybody's T-shirt. Yeah. So the detective would later say she agreed to go with Brenton to his house. So. The next day, Brenton goes back. Cowboy Brent goes back to the bar and grill, because that's where he hangs out. And, the Danielle Starks, the owner, said, we just sat down at the bar talking to these two ladies, and they were teasing him, about maybe did you get some pussy or whatever. You took that young girl home.
What?
Yeah, they're two older ladies teasing him. Hey, look at you. Cowboy Brent got some last night. Look at him. He got some tail on him. Yeah, that's right.
Cowboy Brent.
Cowboy Brent got himself a piece.
Did you get pussy?
You got pussy, Cowboy Brent. These are ladies, by the way.
Yeah.
Two ladies. How's that?
It's unbelievable.
How's that what you got last night? That was good?
Ladies.
Y'all get some stank on your hang down there, Cowboy Brent? Yeah? All right.
You wash that thing yet? Come here.
Come here. Let me sniff it. Now, they were teasing him about it. Which a 55-year-old guy left with a 42-year-old in a town like this, where I assume there's not different women around very often to fucking try to pick up at the bar. That was,
funniest goddamn thing I've ever heard.
That is amazing.
Women razzing him that he may have gotten pussy.
Yeah, may have gotten some ass. The bar owner said he was all embarrassed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all embarrassed, and he said, no, that didn't happen.
Right.
He said that he never even talked. They went home and went to sleep, and she was gone before he woke up in the morning.
Nice.
Yeah, the bar owner said, no, she left early this morning before I even woke up. So there was no hanky-panky, he said. She didn't steal anything or anything like that, so, we call it a win. So the police obviously want to talk to Cowboy Brent, because he's the last person to see her, obviously, in the house. So they look into him a little bit just to see who he is. They find out he is a convicted felon, Cowboy Brent.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He was found guilty of fraud charges in 1981, and also 4 misdemeanors in 1988, including assault with a dangerous weapon.
So he's a liar, and he assaults people.
He's a liar, and he's a bit physically aggressive, apparently.
Yeah.
But that was also 88.
Great point. Yeah,
there's a lot to
20 years,
22 years. That's at that point. So that's that would be
almost 30, right?
28 years.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between 55 and 27. That's a huge, monstrous difference of a human being.
Entirely different guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, well, that's interesting, but doesn't mean he did something. So they just want to talk to him because he's the last person to see her. So the police, this is the other odd thing in this case. A lot of the investigation, normally police, when there's a missing person, or especially if they think something is awry, there's foul play, or somebody might have come to harm, they usually talk to people in person.
Yeah.
You go, you talk to them, you knock on the door. Most of the time, if they think that they might have something to do with it, they don't even talk to them at the person's house. They tell them to come down to the station so they can set up how they want to do this. And
rarely text.
They just talk to people on the phone here. I don't know if it's so rural. We'll just call him. It's far to go over to his house.
It's a ride.
I got his number.
Get him on the phone.
I got his number. I mean, what are we talking about? So he calls, the police call him, and this is all recorded, obviously. And he said it was all platonic. There was nothing weird going on.
Yeah.
This is the quote from a recorded call. Quote, all we did was have some drinks. That's it. Had some drinks and we talked. It was mostly her talking. That's it. She was talking about him, meaning Terry Gary.
Yeah.
Terry Gary, she's venting. And then he did this, and then I got up there, and I'm uncomfortable because it's him and his daughter, and then he takes his daughter's side, and which is normal. Yeah. So they talk a little. So now they got to talk to Terry Gary, because they're like, hold on a minute here. This is a guy who just took her home from the bar and said she spent the night, and everybody said it was fine, but she just fought with this guy. It's her boyfriend. And
all she's doing is talking about this guy.
That's what I mean. This is a different story. So he also said this is what Cowboy Brent said. Quote, she was really afraid, and I don't know why. She didn't want to go back. That's for damn sure. She didn't want to go back to his house and stay there. So the cops call Terry Gary. Call him, by the way. This is the ex-boyfriend who just had a fight with a woman who's now missing. So he's a top suspect at this point, and they're like, we'll give him a ring. You can't see body language. You can't see anything that way.
Yeah. You don't know anything that he's doing at the moment.
No. He could be jerking it. He could be whacking it at the time. You don't know.
He could be cutting up a body while you're talking to him. You don't know.
Be cutting up this body you're talking about.
Yeah.
So they asked him, they sit Terry Gary down, and they say, were you guys fighting? And he said, no, I tried to, and they cut him off. Did you hit her?
Yeah.
And he said, I did not lay a hand on her, which is a bad sign.
Yeah.
So they said, we're not going to find her in some pucker brush somewhere with your fingerprints all over. Pucker brush coming up again. We're not going to find her in the hairs of someone's butthole, are we? Like a dingleberry? You know what I mean? We ain't
Bend
gonna
over.
find
We're
that.
going to see if she's in there.
Let's look through your pucker brush, son.
The pucker brush.
The pucker brush. We're not going to find her in some pucker brush somewhere with your fingerprints all over.
Yeah.
All over her or the pucker brush? I didn't know pucker brush could hold a print, but maybe
all
it can.
over my pucker.
All over my pucker brush. He said, quote, oh, God, no, I'm not that guy. I have 3 0 tolerances. You don't hit women, you don't rape kids, and you don't steal from me.
What about raping
I was
women?
going to say, no. You don't hit women. You don't rape kids. You hit kids and you rape women. That's how it works.
You steal from kids.
You
not
steal
from
from anybody but me. See, otherwise, I have a real specific trio of credos to live by, and those are the 3.
The particular victims of certain crimes really hurts me.
Yes. Now, if I hear a guy answer that, I'm looking at him. He's my guy.
For sure.
Yes. They actually, after that, they don't consider him a suspect any longer.
He
That
did say
convinces-
don't rape kids. Let's get out of here.
He said not to rape kids. I feel like that's a fine gentleman, and maybe we should listen to him. I think he's telling the truth.
He doesn't hit women. Only kids he
Only
doesn't
kids.
rape.
And
Steal from everybody but me.
Everybody but me. The reason they don't like Terry Gary for this is because there's just something off about Cowboy Brent that they don't know about here. Yeah. And plus I guess Terry Gary was with his daughter and he had an alibi and all that kind of shit. He didn't go back out and then come home muddy with blood all over him at 4 a.m. or anything. So
only thing he's guilty of is muddy crimes that he doesn't like.
That he doesn't like. Don't like them. Holy shit. So they go back to Cowboy Brent here.
Uh-huh.
They feel like he knows more than he's telling. They feel like, because he's just like, yeah, we talked, then we came home, went to sleep, woke up, she was gone. That's all he'll really say.
Yeah.
So they talk to him again, and he says, quote, I don't appreciate, I love when you're talking to homicide detectives and you start, I don't appreciate, that's just funny to me.
They don't appreciate some things too, man.
If you go to McDonald's and they fuck up your burger, you say, I don't appreciate ordering and waiting online and then having to come in here and get it. That's appreciate. You're in a homicide investigation.
I don't appreciate saying no tomatoes and there's literally extra tomatoes. I don't appreciate that.
I don't appreciate having to get a new burger without mayonnaise on it from you fucking people.
I don't appreciate it.
Don't appreciate
I don't
it.
trust it.
He said, I don't appreciate the way you guys are coming off with this and then to make me do it all over again, and I'm repeating the same stuff to you. That's how homicide investigations work.
I already did it once and I passed,
That's
so I
it.
gotta go.
I'm done now.
I only passed once.
Meanwhile, they want you to tell the story twice or 3 times, then tell it backwards is how they usually do it. That way they know if it's true or not, because you have to be a really good liar to tell a story backwards.
Sure.
He said that they said to him, I get that you're not happy having to talk to me. You know, we're not. And then he cuts him off and he said, I'm not happy about the whole situation, to be honest with you. You know what? I'm hanging up, and hung up on him.
It was a call again.
It's a fucking call. You're going back. No, we think he's our suspect. They get him back on the fucking horn rather than going out to his goddamn house.
Unreal.
That
Unreal.
is wild to me.
You know, we're going to 3-way this with Terry, too.
Then you don't have that, you have it on tape, but you don't have recording, but you don't have the video of him being like, I'm leaving and getting up and marching off. That looks bad. And they're less likely to do that in an interrogation room. So at that point, Detective Richard Dick Rule. I rule with my dick. Rule, Dick. Old Dick Rule was convinced that Heather is not a missing person, but instead just some harm has come to her.
Okay.
So they decide they're really going to focus on this. The detective said, quote, there was a lot going on inside Brenton.
Oh.
Wow. That's a weird way to put it.
Yeah. How do you know? He was on the phone.
He was on the phone. I could just
You have
tell.
no fucking idea.
I got a phone intuition. I used to do telemarketing back in the day, and I could just tell when someone's ready to buy. You know what I mean? And he was ready to buy this murder charge.
Cleo all the time.
All the time.
I was the top salesman.
He did it from home. Cleo. It's easy. So he said, and all of that came out to bear in the summer of 16. So they get a search warrant somehow. I don't know how they get a search warrant based on. I guess that was the last place she was seen. So they get a search warrant. It's at his trailer, and he stays quiet the whole time. But they look at it, and right away the detective said, "quote We had found the firearm. They found a gun, which he lives in the woods in Michigan, though. I assume
several.
Yeah, there's literally wild animals to contend with out there.
Yeah.
So, he said there was a significant amount of her blood found in the trailer. That's another problem.
Oh, my God.
That's a huge problem. That's not good.
You know what? I don't appreciate it.
I don't appreciate y'all coming in here finding dead people's missing women's blood in my trailer. I don't appreciate it.
We don't appreciate how much is here.
Then they go outside. Right outside his front door, he's got a burn pit.
Uh-oh.
And, they're sifting through the ashes, and they start finding buttons, from clothes.
No.
Then they find
way worse.
They find pieces of jewelry as well. Then they find some bones.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and the detective said her ex-husband still had that leather necklace with cross, and we saw that picture, and we find the cross in the fire remains.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We know it's hers.
We know it's hers.
We got a picture of it.
Yes, exactly. We got a picture of it, and I think her and her husband have matching
ones.
Exactly.
Matching chokers.
So they were like, well, that's the one.
Yeah.
So they were like, interesting. They said that this is a detective. This is Dick Rule again. Dick Rule, Terry Gary, Cowboy Brent. This is quite the crew we got going on here.
What a group of folks.
What a group. He said it was the only firearm in the house we found. That seemed to be a trigger because you could see in his face. Once they found the gun, he was like, well, I'm fucked at that point. He knew it was over.
Wow.
If you killed somebody with that gun, he knows they're going to match it up. I'm sure he's seen fucking CSI by this point in his life. So he said that the cop said you could see it in his face okay, now they've got the gun, they've got the case. All these people are walking around in booties and whatnot because now it became a forensic.
Suits, yeah.
Yep. So that's when I think he really started to sink in with him.
Mm-hmm.
So the detective puts him in handcuffs at this point.
Sure.
Yep. And the detective said he was going to trust me. I was going to tell him exactly what was going on, and I was going to try to gain that confidence in him that the best thing to do was to confess.
Sure.
So I had this guy, I could sit him down now and go, listen, you really want to confess, obviously. This looks bad, and blah, blah, blah.
It's going to get worse if you say no now.
Yep. So they're talking to him. By the way, this is not normally how they do this. Normally, they would now take him down to the interrogation room at a police station. Instead, he's sitting outside of his house, and another detective captures it on cell phone video. Cell phone video.
World Star.
This is World
what
Star.
The fuck?
World Star murder confession, bitches. What's up?
Well, a man's just stirring a burn pit?
Yeah, I fucking killed her, burned her up. World Star, motherfucker! In the background. What's going on?
What is this?
This is insane. Yeah, it looks like it's the weirdest thing. So on this, though, they do... Yeah. They're talking to him, and he said at one point, he just said, quote, it just fucking happened. I snapped. He comes out with that. He just bursts out. It just fucking happened. I snapped.
Cowboy.
Yeah, so they were like, okay. He goes, yeah, she needed a place to stay, and he said that something about her touched a nerve off and reminded him of ex-girlfriends he's had, and then just snapped. Yeah, he said, quote, no woman will ever in my life try to do something like that to me again. She didn't do anything to him. Yeah. Nothing. Other people did, and he just projected it all onto her.
Wow.
So this is what he said. Quote, this is his excuse. Okay.
Yeah.
She kept talking about her ex-boyfriend, her boyfriend situation, and blaming the boyfriend. And this, according to him, it said it just brought up a rage inside of him because he felt that women he had been with before had blamed him. He was mad for Terry Gary.
I'm going to defend his honor tonight.
Because I'm that guy. This is how women were. This is how my exes would talk to people about me, probably.
So he sees himself in the argument.
And sees her as all of his exes.
Defending himself is the same as defending Terry.
Terry Gary.
And then burn her up.
That's the one. Yep. That's
wow.
He said this, quote, and she came in and started doing that right off the bat.
She just left.
And that's all they were talking about at the bar, and he was being all friendly. But then once they get in the house, then she's not allowed to talk about it anymore. It's a strange thing. And it just triggered something. I didn't plan it. All I did, walk out in the front room, straight to the gun, got it, and shot her in the fucking leg.
In the leg?
She tried to hobble. She came in right away, blaming the guy. My wife did that to me, and it wasn't right, and it wasn't true. I got the chainsaw, and I cut her up.
Who?
Heather, not the wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted her to pay like I paid for what my wife did to me. I wanted her to pay like I paid for what my wife did to me. Did your wife chop you up with a chainsaw?
But was she dead already or what?
No, he shot her in the leg.
Yeah.
Then, this is the fucked up part. He said that, and there's some proof of this. He tried to patch up the wound on her. It was like a shut the fuck up shot in the leg. So he was like, I'll help you with your gunshot wound. So she maced him. She fucking pepper sprayed him.
Yeah.
Because obviously he just shot her, for Christ's sake. I wouldn't want, you're going to help me now? Fuck you.
Right.
So at that point, he decided to shoot her in the chest. Yeah.
Oh.
So the detective said, I don't know if he was going to kill her, but he then decides to repair her wounds and everything's going to be okay and take her to the hospital. And then things go again and take a turn. Oh, he's like, I'm sorry. I'll just blah, blah, blah. Tell him it was an accident. So he says this is Cowboy Brent. She came outside. When I realized she came out here, shot her in the fucking chest. Knowing I was going to kill her, I had no choice then. It was already the point of no return. There was already no point of return. So he even fucked that up, actually, is what he said. He then said that he shot her again, like we said, and then placed her I cut her up with a chainsaw, and then placed her in the fire and let her burn for 18 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
18 hours of burning her.
Of burning.
Yep. He's just sitting there smoking cigarettes, talking about this. And he said the fire was going, and I remember putting her in the fire because I wanted her to still pay.
This is extra.
Murdering and chainsawing Scarface in a tub style.
She's long gone, and we're
still has to pay.
Enacting retribution.
Yep, still going to pay. Wasn't enough. Wanted her to pay. That is wild. So he said he left her bleeding body in the pit for 18 hours. They said, this is the detective, quote, the body's burning. He comes back, removes the body, and proceeds to use a chainsaw. So this is, he was like, wait a second, burning isn't good enough.
Too much.
I'm going to pull off a charred corpse and chainsaw this poor woman also, and then throw the parts back in.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He was like that. A whole chicken, you part it out, it cooks quicker. That's what he was thinking.
Yeah.
It's a fucking crazy person. So he said, quote, I was still pissed off the next day. This is Cowboy Brent.
Couldn't do enough to get her to get rid of it.
No.
Still angry.
Took her over there and cut her up. Fucking dumped her like a piece of fucking meat. Because that's what I was treated like, and that's what she was treating this person like, and I don't give a fuck what he was doing. He might have done every bit of that, but where the fuck was your part?
Unbelievable.
He's upset that she wasn't taking personal responsibility for, her part in the relationship. So rather than, I don't know, say that or just ignore it and let somebody run off at the mouth because they're having a problem with their relationship, he goes, fuck that. This is my whole life.
I have to take her apart.
That is crazy. And I don't give a fuck what he was doing. He might have done every bit of that. That's crazy.
Even at finish line, he's not done yet. He can't.
No.
Zero release for him.
And then he does all that. He's still mad even after that. Burning her. He's like, damn it. There's no more I can do.
Oh, my God.
So at that point, they put him in the squad car. They're like, well, we got a full confession, World Star style.
That's enough. Yeah.
Let's do it. So Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people.
Yeah.
Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, well, still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, it's great. Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options. Nice. It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
The cop said it's not human. I know that is what he said about what he did.
Truth.
So then he said, the detective said, quote, he said, "I'll take you to where her body is." And he led us right to that location where the remains of it was, because it didn't burn up all the way. So, yeah, he apparently had loaded her body onto his ATV and transported her deep into some woods into a field near an electrical tower. Is what he did. So the detective said they have trails back there. There's water back there. Nobody knows you're there. It's a perfect place for that type of situation. That is fucking disturbing. So, he leads them through a bunch of tall grass and go right to where he left her in a bunch of different burned, charred pieces.
Good fuck, man.
And then he described what he did again and why. Again, because he likes talking about it. He doesn't mind, as we'll find out. So it's crazy. They said, he said, quote, "So just inside the woods a little bit and you'll probably smell her. You'll probably find the parts."
He thinks that this is okay, right?
Yeah. He's like, well, we'll get this off the books quick, and then I'll go on with my life.
Here's the thing. It wasn't per se a murder. It was more she deserved it. See?
I mean, I was exercising a demon, if you will.
And my First Amendment rights, which is right to fair trial, speech or something.
I got some kind of rights, that I do.
And I was mad.
Yeah.
So it's my right to do it.
To be mad, and then, it's every American's right to chop someone up with a chainsaw once in a while.
That is unbelievable.
He's an interesting cat here. So the detective said, "We found the remains of Heather Young, charred and burned, cut up with a chainsaw. A whole body there. There's probably 10 or 12 pieces."
Good Christ.
Yep. He said. Then the detective said he had been trying to tell people, I guess recently, that he had visions of burning people, lighting people on fire, and quote, "and I enjoyed it," he would tell people. Like he had visions of himself lighting people on fire and enjoying it. He's been telling people this in the weeks.
This.
Yeah. And I believe had we not caught him at that time, that this could have happened again. Yeah, if he got away with it, fuck yeah, he was going to do it again.
Yeah.
Then he said this is Cowboy Brent. "Like I said, I just went through it with my wife. She's lucky she's not around because she's on my list. She was next.
I have a death list.
She was next.
As if this couldn't get worse, I got plans.
Yeah. I got other shit to do.
My ex is coming next.
This was like a dry run, an idea for his ex-wife. Like, oh, this all worked out. I'll just do the same thing to her. Fuck her.
Here's a woman that annoys me. I'm gonna do this again.
Wow. So yeah, she'd been shot twice with a .22 caliber rifle, then set on fire, then dismembered, then burned again, and then dumped.
Oh my God.
So they said that obviously this is a horrible thing. There's a little reaction here. Her father, this is Heather's father, David. He said, quote, "She was a good woman. She liked everybody. She was never mean to a stranger. Why does this creepo have to go out and shoot my daughter?" I can tell this is a nice man because
he said creepo, not motherfucker or piece of shit
or cunt-faced shitball imagine the string of expletives I would come up with or you would come up with before this. It would be
so
remarkable.
Creepo?
Creepo, like that's a nice guy. That's the worst he'll say is creepo. Wow.
Sweet man.
Then he said this, again, nice guy. "That jerk killed my daughter." Jerk?
I want to cook him dinner.
When someone cuts you off a little bit in traffic, you go, "Look at this jerk. That's a jerk." You know what I mean? That's a jerk.
Or somebody starts to come over, and then they see you, and then they go over you. "What are you doing, you jerk?"
Hey, you jerk. Look at this jerk. Yeah. Sanusi was a jerk.
Yeah.
Our Lyft rider to that restaurant that time. He was a jerk. He was just he was the guy people going, "Hey, get out of the way, jerk."
What the fuck, man?
Dismembering your daughter.
This is a nightmare. This guy's a real piece of shit. He took your child from you forever.
And did unspeakable shit.
What a creepo jerk.
Creepo jerk. What a nice man that he probably is.
Truly.
David Dentler's his name. Poor guy. Feel bad for him. He don't even realize what he destroyed. How about my daughter's kids, what they're going through? She's got an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, not that that's any better for the 18 or the 24-year-old, but an 11-year-old needs their mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have to bury her. Where are we going to? I'm on a fixed income. People have no concern for other people's lives at all. He's saying I can't afford to bury her. What am I going to do?
That is crazy.
That's fucking horrible.
And he should never have to.
No.
This should never be a problem for him.
No. Heather should have to worry about burying him. That's how it works, not the other way around. So this is disturbing. And that's the real terrible. Not only do you have to worry about, oh my God, my daughter's dead. What are we going to do with her children and help them? And what can we do for them to make them feel better and make us feel better? But oh my God, we can't afford to even put her in the ground. What are we going to do?
I can't even. Yeah.
To have to try to find money at that point, too, is unbelievable.
I can't even put the woman to rest.
Wow, these poor people. He said, "My daughter was a giver. She was a giver, not a taker. When she came here, she would say, 'Dad, do you need anything? Dad, do you need anything?'" So, yeah, they were able to identify her by her tattoo and DNA from her parents to match her up there. So they asked the cops, what about this? So Michigan State Police Lieutenant John Grimshaw says this. This is a Grimshaw. You want to talk about a grim, he should be called Grim Quote is what he should be called. Okay. Quote, it can happen anywhere. It really doesn't matter where you live unless maybe you're on the moon and there's no one else who lives there with you. Crime happens up here and it's just the nature of people being people.
What the fuck?
Damn, Lieutenant Grimm. Holy shit.
Lesson you're all alone on the moon? It's going to get you.
Unless you're on the moon, someone's going to try to stick it in you. Like, wow, this is a... Thanks, Lieutenant.
Really emphasizing the grim, Lieutenant.
Feeling good now. Holy shit. So they said they've charged him, but they said that, you know, any more information anybody has, they'd love to have it and bring more charges if possible. They said we've had several tips to this point in the investigation, and most didn't pan out. We're always looking for people who may have something to add which could strengthen our case or help lead to more charges. At this point, he's charged with first-degree murder, a felon in possession of a firearm, and 2 counts of use of a firearm in commission of a felony, and faces up to life in prison without parole if convicted.
There's no desecration of a human corpse in Michigan?
New charge added after that. He's arraigned on his 4 original charges, including the premeditated murder, as well as a new felony charge, disinterment, internment, and mutilation of a corpse.
There you go. There's got to be some sort of...
as I say, you can't just do that and have that be willy-nilly.
And just classify that as the same thing as a drive-by shooting? They're entirely different.
That's fucking crazy. Then we go to court, and now it really gets crazy. You think it's been... Wait till you hear what he says in court. Oh, it's been interesting so far.
Awful. Yeah.
Oh, it's beyond awful. You can't even... Who the fuck would do this? Everyone that is listening to this is going to want to go to Michigan, line up, and kick this guy in the balls. Like, he's an awful man. So he goes to court, and he decides... First, he pleads not guilty to everything. Then he decides to plead guilty to second-degree murder.
Oh,
they're going to let him
representation of himself.
Yeah, they're going to let him plead guilty to second-degree murder, and they're going to drop most of the other charges on that in exchange. Okay, right. He says, because they say you have to say guilty and whatever, and he says guilty. I shot Heather Young twice, burned her in a fire pit, and cut her up with a chainsaw.
Second degree.
And they said, he's like, yeah, you weren't lying about guilty, was you, son? Holy shit.
All of this.
Yeah, and then he said, August 2016, out in Millersburg, Rainy Lake Road, my brother's property. He did it on his brother's property. Thanks, Dick. Not even your own property. Doesn't even own it. No, did it on my brother's. So, sentencing, this is before sentencing. This is outside the court. Heather's mother speaks out here. And this is Gail. And she says she misses her daughter, obviously. She says, quote, it kills me, it tears my heart out, and I have a really hard time at times. So they said some closure might happen with the sentencing and all that sort of thing. She said, though, she's going to read a victim statement, an impact statement. She said, I would just like to tell him that it's in God's hands, she said. So that's what she said. She said, quote, he made, when he pled guilty and admitted to everything, everybody was shocked in court that he just said what he did. She said, he made it sound as if he was killing a rat. He didn't care what he said. He didn't care what he did. The details that he done, they were pretty graphic, and he didn't care.
Right.
No shit. She does say that she thinks she can find some forgiveness in her heart here.
Really?
She said, it's hemming and hawing. Some moments I want to forgive him, and yet I don't. I know I've got to forgive him. That's what she said. If she's a religious person, that's part of it. It's part of your whole deal. Right. She said, I hope it's our final last leg. Hopefully there's going to be no more about him. So sit there in prison and whatever may be, may be. She's hoping this will be closure and she'll be able to put it aside. Instead, he puts some stank on it and really fucking makes it way worse. Okay. During sentencing, the prosecutor said, quote, his actions were probably some of the most egregious actions by a perpetrator against a victim that I have experienced in my 40-some years of legal experience.
Yes.
I would say so. Heather's family speaks out here. This is Heather's mother. Quote, I have to see a psychologist or something like that. I have to go to a grief group as well. I'm on medication for dealing with losing my daughter to your cold-hearted, senseless, murderous act. I have nightmares about her dying. how she suffered until her death, and how you killed her, and what she probably felt in all that was coming right up to the moment of her death. Okay. She then says that she hopes something horrible happens to him in prison.
Yeah.
She says, quote, I hope you live in misery and pain for the rest of your life, and you will be every prisoner's little Susie.
Oh, I hope you get raped a lot.
Little Susie, wake up.
Take it, little Susie.
I'd love them to play the song while they do it, too. Just line up and play the song.
I hope
this song
you are every prisoner's little Susie.
Little Susie. Good for you, lady. Then she clarifies in case he didn't understand what she meant, which is my second favorite.
They push prisoner penis in your asshole a lot.
Almost. The nice person in court version of that. She says, meaning, I love that.
Have you heard of an Eiffel Tower?
Meaning, I hope you'll be very popular in the shower with all the guys. That is amazing. Good for you, lady. Good for you, Gail. I love Gail. Her family seems like really good people here, to me. Like, they seem like normal people. Normal people. Normal.
I want her to clarify that, too.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep clarifying until she says something like, white tear rolls down your thigh.
I'd like one man to hold you down while another knocks all your teeth out so it's easier for them to fuck your face. While this is happening, I'd like a line of men behind you to just give you the business. Just no lube, full bore. That's what I'm looking for. Is to clarify. In case I'm unclear.
I hope they plunger your shit until you don't shit straight.
You know what I mean?
Do you get it?
I'd like them to make a new hole and fuck you there. That's what I'd like. That's what I'm looking for out of this.
I want her to keep clarifying until the judge says, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Jesus, ma'am, this is a court of law, for God's sake. I'm going to have nightmares tonight.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
It's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That's amazing. He's standing there smirking the whole time, so she's getting more pissed off. Yeah. She says, he's standing there with a smirk on his face. This is not right. And they need to get the death penalty back into Michigan. I know I'm going to need to forgive him, and I'm going to have to forgive him from the bottom of my heart, but not today.
Yeah.
Today I want him to get raped.
A lot. All day.
By terrible people. Then, so her dad comes up on the stand now.
Oh, boy.
Imagine being this guy. Imagine this is your daughter. Yeah. You'd fucking want to rip him apart with your bare hands.
But this is also the guy that says creepo and jerk. What does he say?
He says, quote, I wanted to kill him so bad I can't hardly sleep at night thinking about my daughter. That's what he said.
Wow.
Then Heather's daughter, Lori, the 24-year-old, loses her shit in court and just starts yelling about him and get him he's a fucking monster, get him out of here, starts losing it to where they have to, like, drag her out of court. And they were talking about will charges be filed against her? Like, you can't bring a person in to talk about their dead mom and yell at the guy who's saying fucking, happy about cutting her up with a chainsaw and expect her to have some, comport herself in a elegant fashion. She's going to be pissed.
Also freedom of speech.
Well, in a court, that's not the street. That's
up to and including. I mean, you can't threaten, but you could.
You can if it's a victim impact statement.
Yeah,
you can say whatever you want. But I
mean,
she was like freaking out, losing it, and cursing and stuff. So I don't know, but I don't blame her. Good for you.
I don't either. Yeah.
Her ex-husband gets up here, Jeffrey Cunningham, her first husband here. I think. Was that the second one? No, I think it's the first.
Second, I think.
I think it's the first, actually.
Maybe.
She said, maybe. He said that during all this, by the way, Walker's laughing to himself. Cowboy Brent's laughing. Yep. This is Jeffrey Cunningham, the ex-husband. He said, quote, he said he's happy now. I would be happy to take him out if you would let me, and I hope wherever he goes, they might do that for me. So they want to kill him. Everyone wants to kill him. The daughter said, get rid of this man. My mother was never a whore. And then the officers dragged her out of the courtroom because she was screaming and yelling. Yeah. He has no remorse at all. Check this out.
No.
Okay.
Obviously not.
They get him up there and they say, anything to say for yourself? And he says, I absolutely do.
I did this on behalf of all divorced men everywhere.
Pretty much. He said, quote,
Really?
I'm by no means sorry about what I did.
Jesus.
He said, well, now, when I was given the opportunity to follow through with something that I've known for some time I'm capable of doing, it felt great. I feel vindicated because of it. I've never felt better in my life.
What the fuck, man?
The fact that it happened to this particular individual was because, number one, she reminded me a lot of my ex-wife and other women I've been with. A liar and a whore. So yes, I'm not sorry. I have nothing to be sorry about.
Holy.
He said that to a judge who's about to sentence him.
Yeah.
The judge said, oh yeah? Guess
Have
what?
mercy on me now.
You, sir, may fuck off. He should have said, I sentenced you to the parking lot with her ex-husband, father, and anybody else they know that might want to take a few shots in on this shit.
Whatever's left is getting raped.
Well, and then we're going to rape your corpse. We're just going to put it in prison and say, anybody want to rape this lump of shit before it gets too cold? The judge says,
we'll microwave it a couple times.
Who cares?
Just for the third and fourth.
Warm it up. Put an electric blanket on it. I don't give a shit. You, sir, may fuck off 45 to 70 years for the murder and 2 years for the firearms charge. Yeah. So with this, he is sentenced to, before he can get parole, he has to do at least 47 years.
Oh, shit.
At 55, that would make him 102 years old before he's up for parole.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have it.
And also, with all that raping he's going to endure.
He's not. He might fall in love with it.
He might love it. The prosecutor said, in this instance, we felt that getting a sentence on the minimum, which is going to well exceed any possibility of parole, was just as good as taking the risk of trial determination that might not achieve that result. Plus, you save the family the trauma of a trial. Yeah, imagine if he got to sit on the stand and talk about he would have relished of going on the stand and just talking about it.
He's a problem while he pleads guilty.
Fuck, man. Yeah, so I mean, well, he's getting sentenced when you're supposed to be nice. So dad again here, this is Heather's dad, said she was decapitated. You know that stuff. He butchered her. That's the only thing I picked up. He said no conscience. He doesn't have no conscience the way he was sitting with his body. And mom said it was really hard. I mean, you don't know. You have no idea how bad I wanted to walk across that room and do something horrible to him. And these are nice people. So that's, And the detective said he walked around the scene and pointed out where certain things had taken place. I did not expect that, and I thought he was going to at least say he was sorry and that he had a lot going on in his mind or something to that effect. But nope. By the way, 2018, Terry Gary dies.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so that relationship wouldn't have gone too much farther anyway. But
it was 2 years to go.
2 years. He died at 60.
Shit.
Old cowboy Brent here, though, he's definitely in prison. Yeah. He is at the Charles Egler Reception and Guidance Center, apparently. His earliest release date is August 8th, 2063.
Yeah.
So they're going to hang on to him for a bit here. 5'10", 172 pounds.
Little guy.
Older and got a mouth on him. I feel like he's not going to do great in prison.
No.
He's not going to do very well with that fucking mouth on him.
They're going to fuck that mouth.
His MDOC number is 494890, and his SID number is 1205202X. Now, if you for some reason think this guy has the balls to do this, he has an inmateaid.com account where you can, give him money because obviously you want him to be comfortable in there.
Oh, my.
This guy is a piece of shit. And
I want him using powdered soap.
So badly, yeah.
I want him using I want him to use those paper towels to dry off with in the shower. I don't want him having a single luxury.
I want him to see ramen and go, man, the decadence. That's what I want.
I want him to have to chew a Brillo pad to brush his teeth.
That would be great.
That's how much of a piece of shit he is.
This guy really
I want him
sucks.
to have nothing.
This guy really sucks. So there you go, everybody. There's Onaway, Michigan.
Oh, boy.
Holy shit, what a bad guy. So
it's one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard.
It's the worst person, one of the worst people we've ever dealt with, because they're usually not like, yeah, that's right. What do you think of that? Right. Victim's mother. That's crazy.
He's like trying to high-five divorced men and tell them, did it for you, bro.
Yeah, no.
No, I didn't want that.
So, holy shit, if you like the show, tell the world about it. Yeah. Get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. It does help a lot. Tell your friends. put it on social media, do all that good shit. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, check out all of our social media. We are at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, because tickets are coming out for live shows.
They are. Yeah.
For 2024, and we have all the dates here, and we are going to, the tickets will be on sale. The pre-sale, which you need a code for that you can get on our social media, that will last from December 13th at 10 a.m., whatever your local 10 a.m. time is, to December 14th at 10 p.m., and then the next morning, Friday the 15th of December at 10 a.m. Local time, that's when all tickets go on sale to anybody. You don't need a code or anything like that. So that's very easy. We're real excited about this tour. We can't wait. We're at some places we haven't been in a while, which is exciting, honestly.
A couple of new places.
Yeah, a couple of new places. We're going to be Sacramento, San Francisco, Durham, Nashville, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Austin, Philly, Tarrytown, and Boston. So there are our shows. Get your tickets. Come out and plan ahead of time, because those tickets are going to go fast.
There is a Philly, huh?
No Philly.
You said Philly right now.
Did I say Philly?
Yeah.
I didn't mean Philly.
You said it third to last. You meant Phoenix, I think.
Phoenix, Austin, Phoenix. Yes, Phoenix, not Philly. Sorry about that. Sorry, Philly.
What?
Yeah, you can come to Tarrytown if you want, Philly.
Yeah, there you go.
Last year they had to come to Philly, so you can go back up this year. So thanks for that. We can't wait to see you. Get those tickets, because they're going to go fast. Last year, Boston sold in like a day. So
fast.
Get in there and get those tickets quickly, everybody. So thank you so much for doing that. You certainly want Patreon, patreon.com/crime and sports. All the bonus episodes. Anybody $5 a month or above. Whole back catalog, couple hundred episodes. New ones every other week. This week, theme park disasters for crime and sports, which you'll have access to. And finally, for Small Town Murder, weird-ass twin flames. Weird cult, alleged, strange, match.com weirdness. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Somebody's found the desperation pays.
Check all that out. That is patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of that. And keep coming back each and every week. Tell everybody about the damn show, and keep hanging out with us and social media and all that. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
It takes one guy out there to say, who's that Kyle who thinks he can just get on a microphone on a podcast and start publicizing this?
From iHeart Podcasts and Tenderfoot TV comes a new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
Meet Kenny, an enforcer for the legendary Chicago outfit.
And that was my mission, to snuff the life out of this guy.
He lived a secret double life as a firefighter-paramedic for the Chicago Fire Department.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Torn between 2 worlds.
I'm covering up murders that these cops are doing.
He was a freaking crazy man.
We don't know who he is, really.
He is my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Welcome to Crook County. Available now. Listen for free on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.